I've always wanted to do Chekhov because his characters are so rich. I went to Nick Hyde and said I want to do The Cherry Orchard and I want to do it in the Olivier Theatre, which surprised him, but he was pleased. And when he asked me the question, I said because it is the most politically charged and socially aware of his plays.
I really love Chekhov, and I've kind of wanted to do Chekhov for ages. So it's nice to have finally done one. And I think he's great for women. I think he writes beautifully for women.
Chekhov wrote about human nature, and like Shakespeare, the reason why Chekhov will be done forever is because human nature has not changed.
The last time this was done, The Cherry Orchard at the National Theatre, was done in the Cottesloe. So the concentration was very much on the characters' inner turmoil. And I wanted to stress that there is something else going on, which is the way that they don't relate to the social issues of their day, let alone the financial conundrum that they're in, and that they're going around in denial.
Ranyevskaya is a middle-aged woman who was born into money. She follows her heart completely as a human being and has no conception of money. She's a fascinating character, but there are some little chink in her head that will not deal with the truth.
The range that Zoe has got, I think, is fantastic, that she can switch from being incredibly emotional and very, very deeply emotional to being sardonic and ironic and witty. And I needed somebody who was able to be flirtatious and funny at the same time, catch our emotions and make us care for her.
Ranyevskaya comes back from Paris with no money whatsoever and is destitute. She has no sense of reality that her old childhood home may be lost.
Bunny knew that I wanted to emphasise the fact that this is a grand old estate, but it's crumbling because it hasn't been cared for, because they've run out of money.
I'd been looking at all these photographs of Russian houses, wooden houses, and then I found a reference in a magazine of a photo shoot that had been done against a beautiful background of dilapidated wood. And I found out that that was from the historic dockyards at Chatham, and it's exactly like a lot of this. I've sort of taken reference directly from it, the windows and some of the staircase, and just the texture of the wood on the walls. It's got a fantastic age and history to it, which felt really lovely. And having seen these references of Russian houses, the two kind of tied together. I think that the house does feel like another character in the play. It's like an old, wonderful, historical relic of something that was marvellous in the past and is still wonderful and heartfelt, but is just on its last legs.
Most of my work is underpinned by a conviction that theatre should address itself to social issues. And in the case of The Cherry Orchard, I wanted to place the politics of the play at the forefront of this production. Chekhov nudges us towards assessing two of the characters and their worldview, which is Lopakhin, who is a capitalist, and Trofimov, who's a socialist, if not a revolutionary. And in effect, Chekhov was saying, this is the future. One of these two is going to be the future. And in the case of Russia, it's turned out to be both.